My name's Jon. I'm from Airqua Water from Air Machines. Did you know that 1 out of 3 people in the world don't have access to clean drinking water? 1 out of 3 people. And 2 out of 3 people in the world, at least 1 month of the year, don't have access to clean water and face water scarcity. So, this all came to me, all struck home about 4 years ago when I was listening to the BBC. I had a little bit of insomnia. BBC is a great cure for insomnia. But before I drifted off, they were talking about these massive floods that ripped through Pakistan and just completely and utterly decimated all of their systems, including their water storage systems. So kids were suffering and dying because they couldn't get a clean glass of water. And I sort of thought, this sparked at me for 2 reasons. Like, I'd love to have a solution to help them out right now. Of course I didn't. But what can we do in those emergency situations later on? Also, the second point is that it is often said that the next world war is going to be fought over clean water. And I've got 2 girls that are now 14 and 12, and that thought just absolutely scares the bejesus out of me. As I don't want them or their kids or their grandkids to be put in that sort of a situation. So, there is a solution. And the solution is sitting right over there. This unit's been around the country with me, so it's a little bit faded and a little bit ragged, but don't let that fool you. That right now is creating water. It is simply just plug into an electrical socket and away it goes. It's creating water. How does it do that, you might ask? That's a very good question, Shane. Thank you so very much for asking that. Humidity.
He's on his game, man.
Humidity. A lot of people think it's a nuisance. A lot of people are very vocal about that, Rose, about humidity. Bit of a nuisance. I was up at a conference in the Whitsundays about a month ago talking about this product, and people were laughing and joking. Pardon me. That we don't have humidity up here at the moment and how wonderful it was and so forth. That's water from air right there. Really, that's good stuff. And it got me to thinking. There's 2 ways you can look at this. Humidity, yeah, it's a nuisance. Or humidity, it's one of our greatest natural resources. So what this machine does is, with a fan system, as it drags air through it at a rapid rate of knots, it takes the humidity out of the air and condenses it over a cooling coil. This condensed water hits the bottom tray. When there's enough in there, there's a pump that shoots it through 5 stages of filtration to give you pure water. And that sits refrigerated in the top tank, which is about a 16 litre tank. Okay? That unit there will do up to 30 litres per day. You think about that, a machine that size can do up to 30 litres per day. Okay? I got one at home. I had to take this one out on the road. This was my one at home. I had to take it out on the road, and my girl said, "No, Dad, you're not taking it. We can't go back to tap water." Because as you just tasted before, the taste is completely different. And it's something that you actually want to drink. So, how does this help out the world? These units can actually run off solar. They only draw 425 watt, and that's with refrigeration. That's like, what, 8 of these light bulbs? That's how much it draws. It can work off 24 volt solar, like I said. So anywhere that there's humidity and that there's sun, which is pretty much everywhere, you can create water. So anywhere in the world, I can put one of these machines and create water out of thin air. That's how it helps the world, and that's how it helps the global drinking water crisis. Okay? These units will shut themselves off if the humidity goes below 30% because they're no longer viable. The other trick that it does, it's got quite a few tricks, is it also shuts itself off when it's full, when the storage tank's full, so it doesn't keep churning out water and you're not wasting it. So it'll run off 425 watts and then shut down to 2 watts just to circulate the water past UV lights to keep it fresh. So, in any solution, water solution, it's got to be sustainable going forward. And this, as I mentioned, can create water from an inexhaustible source, humidity. You're never going to dry out the earth to no humidity. And it can be powered by an inexhaustible source, being the sun. Yeah, it's safe. It's the cleanest water that you'll have. If I had a water tester with me and I tested this, something out of the tap and a bottle of water, you would see that this is so much cleaner and pure than the other two options. There's no microplastics in it, that all gets filtered out. There's no heavy metals in it, there's no chlorine, there's no fluoride. It's just good clean water. And it's got to be self-sufficient. So anywhere in the world, like I said, can create water. Any community can create water for their people, just by simply having a solar array and one of these machines. That's it for my sermon for today. Thank you very much for your time. It's a project that I absolutely love because it can change the world.
So where do you want to put these? Who's your ideal referral?
So at the moment, we've got a deal with one of the councils in WA, in northern WA, to put these into remote communities to help our Indigenous communities get access to clean drinking water. So councils definitely, community centres, schools which don't have access to great drinking water. But there's also the commercial applications of mining and agriculture, because they're usually in remote places and they've got to truck in bottles and bottles and bottles of water, that's what we're trying to get rid of. Get rid of single-use plastic bottles. Anyone heard of what the plastic gyre is? Plastic gyre is this, it's this area in the Pacific Ocean that I believe is about the size of Texas. It's just covered by single-use plastic. That's what we want to get rid of.
Jon, I understand that the water gets remineralized after it gets taken from the air.
It does. That is an option.
And because otherwise you would have distilled water.
Yeah.
For the remineralization, do you need something specific to have that, or is there something that regenerates itself, or how does that work?
Yeah, there's a filter that lasts about 12 months. That is the very last step of the process. So it takes out all the last minute nasties that every other system, like reverse osmosis and the charcoal filters haven't got. Then it puts through the minerals in. And off the top of my brain, I don't have a composition of what the minerals are, but a good start. Yeah.
How much do they cost?
That one is to buy outright is about $3,500 delivered, or $99 a month.
How many can you make? Like how quickly can you get them out to various locations where they're thoroughly needed?
Depends if they're in stock or not.
Yeah,
So
right.
if they're in stock, they'll ship from Brisbane tomorrow. So however long a carrier it will take. If they're the bigger units, so these go right up to producing 500 litres per day. They're more of a special order, take a couple months.
Yeah.
So how much does that unit produce?
So
How much does a unit like that produce in terms of water?
up to 30 litres per day.
Can I try a glass?
You have been, I think.
No,
Oh, you haven't had any water yet.
No.
We need another glass.
I haven't used
This one because
I've got my own.
Thank you very much. Whatever you do, don't start coughing and spluttering.
Only first aid responders in the room. Yes. Okay, very good.
good. No?
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's Taunton air we're drinking.
Towards beer.
Taunton air.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Taste test.
And the last area that we're looking to get into as well is accommodation venues. Now there's a special machine that we brought out for accommodation, which is a vending machine. So a lot of places traditionally have sold water in bottles to their guests, even up to sometimes $10 in resorts. and they didn't want a machine that would give free water to their clients because that's a revenue stream. So that's the same with theme parks. They sell bottles of water. So we have a credit card enabled version. We just go up, tap your credit card, tap your phone, and it'll spit out X amount of litres of water into your own bottle. All right. Anyone else? Thank you so much.